today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a review of the beautiful, back at the front here, beautiful deck, hang on a minute, the Modern Witch Tarot by Sterle. I had come across this deck online, obviously, and I just needed to have it. I think it is absolutely beautiful. It is, you typically only ever really worked with the Rider-Waite. I sort of felt drawn to that. It was easy for me to use and it's easy for me to read. There's a few other tarots that I do have, but I've never really felt drawn as much to work with it every day as I did the Riders until this deck came along. Rider-Waite who at this point, I use this deck every single day. It is my go-to. The messages I find come through so much stronger and resonate with me so much more. It's almost, and this is probably arrogant and egotistical to say, but it's almost as if this deck was made for me in many ways. It's the first real deck that I've used that I've lost my train of thought. It's the first real deck that I've used that I have just felt more and more drawn to work with it as time goes on. Usually when I get a new deck, I'll feel excited to use it in the moment, and then I'll use it and it kind of will fizzle out and I'm like, okay, where's something else? This is the first real me deck. I feel like this deck chose me very much so. So with all that said, it comes in a beautiful box like this. I'll try and get it close enough for you. And Lisa's artwork is absolutely brilliant. She has a real way of capturing the essence of the Rider-Waite artwork and style with a more modern twist, obviously, Modern Witch Tarot, with a more modern twist, but it doesn't take away from the traditional art, or it adds to it in so many ways, and I'll show you some of the cards soon. It's with Liminal 11, and I'd suggest going and checking out their website because they have some beautiful decks on their liminal11.com. Beautiful decks available on the website. Again, you can also check out lisasterle.com. Lisa does quite a bit of different artworks, usually in the comic kind of area with spices of horror theme in there. Her artwork is amazing. If this girl ever does another deck, I am in there like swimwear. I cannot wait. I hope that she does. Go and check out her website. She's on Instagram as well. I'll try and link everything below. And if you resonate with her artwork, I can say you will resonate with the deck. She is amazing and I just love everything that she does. Fangirling, yes. So the deck comes with 78 cards and 2 extra cards. Now I'll show you the 2 extra cards, but I might wait until I get everything out. The only real criticism I had, and it's not even a criticism, is with the weight of everything that's in here. When you go to pick it up, it's sort of a bit difficult, especially how I have it placed on my desk. You sort of pick it from the top and it sort of slips out like big whoop, really. Hold your deck better. Like it's not anything major whatsoever, but I feel I don't know what it is. Sometimes I'll do it and it'll kind of irk me a little bit. That's really it in terms of a criticism. I'll just read the backing here. We've got Modern Witch Tarot is a magical take on traditional tarot symbolism, inspired by fashion and modern witches from every walk of life. Spark your imagination, seek your inner wisdom, and discover your true power. Beautiful. Okay, so you open up the top like that. Oops. I'll just move that over there. Hopefully you can still kind of see it. We'll try and be fancy. And then obviously this is the inside. Excuse my fingerprints. It's got like a little cardboard insert that kind of stops everything from moving around. I don't have all the cards in here at the moment because I've pulled out some that I want to show you from in. And then the cards just kind of, I sort of hold the book in and the cards just pop out. The cards themselves have a beautiful backing. As you can see, there is a bit of a shine to it. It is a gloss finish, but really on the cards themselves, yeah, it's still a little bit shiny. But when I've been using them, or any time I've taken photos, I've not really noticed the glare as much as it's showing up there, which is interesting. And then you get this little book, and it's just a little cardboard. I mean, the inside of the box is even decorated there. It's beautiful. Just a little bit of cardboard there that just sort of holds everything in place and stops it from bumping around. And this is her, I hope this isn't going to be back the front, we'll see, little guidebook. I am kind of a little bit, I generally make a statement quite often, I don't use the guidebooks. It's not for any particular reason, I just have only really been working with tarot. A lot of the readings that I've done for quite a while, have been intuitive. I never really used to affiliate with cards or oracle cards, and it's only been in the last maybe 1.5 to 2 years that I've even been using tarot and oracle cards. I mean, I've had them forever. I think I was gifted my first deck when I was a teenager. So I have dabbled from time to time, but it's only been recent that I've really been loving working with tarot. It's sort of shifted a lot of how I do things, and I'm expanding and growing and learning as you do as a result of that. But even when right up until about now and this deck, I'd never really been drawn to even look at a guidebook. It's sort of just something that sits on my shelf, and that's that. But I have found that the messages that are in here, and as you can see, I'll show you quickly, I'll show you so there's individual pages for the major arcana, and then it's not a very big book. How many pages is it? I think it's only 56 pages, and that's with a few spreads at the back and a little bit of info at the start. So technically there's only maybe 46 pages with the actual card meanings on there. How's that going to go? And then each of the minor arcana are sort of broken up into the 4 categories and spliced in there together. But the messages, and for what Lisa has written here, I would recommend this deck to a beginner, because the messages and the meanings and the translations that she's placed in here are so bang on. I almost wish that I come across this deck like right at the start of using tarot, because I feel like I would have picked things up and maybe changed my practice a little bit, how I work with tarot, because it's such wonderful meanings and so bang on. Short, sweet and direct would be how I would sum this up. So the book's amazing. I'll pop that back in there. And the deck is amazing. Now the card stock itself is very durable. I would say it's thick. It's definitely thicker than a lot of other card stock. It's got that real, like, it feels sturdy, is probably how I would describe this. But I don't find it too thick at all. I don't find it any difficult to shuffle with, however it is that you like to shuffle your cards. I do tend to riffle shuffle, but with this it is a little bit difficult to do that. However, I love this deck so much that I don't even think I would shuffle it in that way, because I don't want to morph the cards in any way. I sort of am a bit rough on my cards, but that's just me and my energy and how we work together. Whereas with this one, I just don't feel drawn to put that energy into them. I feel like they're special. Okay, so with that being said, I'll pop those back in there. I'll just check and see. So some may find that the cards are, I don't want to say too firm, but definitely firmer than a lot of other decks that you may have worked with. But I love that. I think it adds to the quality of the deck. Okay. So again, the imagery is just amazing on these cards. I would beg to say that there's no cards in here that I sort of don't get and wonder, what's that message? What are we trying to be told here? They're just beautiful. So I'm going to show you a few. I will, little disclaimer, there is some nudity in here. Excuse me, making a mess of myself. Okay. So this here's the, how am I going to hold this so there's no glare on there? I can't believe how much of the glare is showing up because I've not had that issue at all. But anywho, that's the Eight of Pentacles. These cards are the ones that I just really connect with and really love. This, again, as I said, 78 cards, 2 extra cards, which I'll show you. And that's the Eight of Pentacles. I just love this card. It just, whenever it comes up for me, I'm like, I know exactly what we're on about here. The Hermit card, if that is not my energy lately, girl, please. Just beautiful. And you'll see the connection between Lisa's style and affiliations with the traditional writers. The Ten of Pentacles. Try and get my head out of the way a little bit. And just beautiful. And the vibrancy of the colors, the messages. Everybody has a purpose. Every color has a purpose. There's so much meaning in each of these cards. Like, look at that woman with the little stars all around her. She just screams, oops, sorry, over here. She just screams wiseness to me, and oh, I just love these cards so much. Again, the Nine of Pentacles. And like the face of this woman, she's, oh God, it's not gonna focus, is it? Come on, wakey wakey. Yeah, it's a bit wishy-washy. But the face of that lady, the work that she's done, the efforts that she's put in, and she's so content, just happy, doing her thing, waiting for the fruits of her labor. Again, I just realized these are a lot of Pentacles cards, but Seven of Pentacles, just waiting for results. They're just beautiful, like, and the women, there's very few direct male energies in the cards. There is that energy. You can still definitely read the cards and pick up on it, but most of the imagery is feminine, but Lisa has an ability to transmute the message, even though, you know, you look at a card and you think, oh, that's a lady, we must be dealing with a lady. You don't. It's not like that at all. It's definitely very much the energies of the card. Now, the Sun card is my traditionally favorite card. I don't know, you probably can't even see it, but this is the Sun card hanging up behind us. I love the sunflowers. It's my grandmother. I just love the energy of this card. When I connect with this card or look at this card, it puts me in a good frame of mind, gets me out of my negative funk place whenever it pops up. But with this deck, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but with this deck, as soon as I did my little flip through, the Ten of Swords, and some may think that this is a weird card to connect with, but as soon as I seen this card, I was actually seeing it online first, and this is the card that made me go, that's a deck for me. I need to have that deck. What is going on here? And as soon as I saw this card in the flesh, I was like, oh my God, I love this deck. I just connected with this card so much, and it's really bizarre because I can sort of be somebody that will often, if there's like something to do with your shadow self or something that may be seen as negative, I'll try to flip it so that is a positive. And so traditionally I thought to myself, how is that a card that I resonate with? Because normally I would be like, oh yeah, that's a beautiful card, I'm really connected to that, but oh no, this is my favorite card, you know. And I just love this card. I just feel her. I feel her just pushing through, getting through what she needs to do. I really resonate with that. It's not the card that represents me in the deck, but it's definitely one that I connected well with. Now I'm going to sort of flip a little bit, because the 2 extra cards that you get, which again I just felt when I seen that there was, I was like, oh, there's 2 extra cards here, what's going on? And when I seen what the cards were, I was like, girl, like, this is meant to be for me. So these were the 2 extra cards, and you've got the 10 of Swords here, and the message is everything is fine. And this just came to me and spoke to me at a time where it was just necessary. And I keep this in my wallet, carried around with me every day. It's always with me. I love that card. And then this is just a little message. Have I put a mark on that? No, I haven't. You are a badass being full of life, love, and possibilities. Through this deck, may you find a path to your best self. Lisa, Lisa, Lisa. Just love it. I just love it. I love her intentions for the deck. I love her imagery. I love her messages. Again, the Magician card is what is presented on the outside of the box. Just beautiful, vibrant. Whenever this card comes out for me, I just feel really connected to it. Just beautiful. High Priestess. I love the way that she is presented here, and there is something with the pomegranates in the background which comes up in the guidebook, which this isn't a walkthrough. I'm not going to give away the juice. I'll let you guys, if you get this deck, look into that yourself, which I just thought was beautiful, and how she's presented, doing what needs to be done. She's so strong, she's so firm, almost like there's nothing to worry about, nothing thrown at her that she can't overcome. Now the Empress card I thought is beautiful. This is actually the representation of myself in this deck. I always, whenever I get a deck, I will shuffle and ask what's the card that represents myself and my energy, and this is the card that came out for that. And when I read the messages in the book, I was like, yes, Queen. So beautiful. The Fool card. I'm not somebody that usually likes the Fool card. I don't sort of affiliate, but I just feel this energy so strongly. She is just doing her thing. I really found that this imagery gave me sort of a new lease on how I perceived the Fool and the meanings and the messages. I kind of would just brush it off sometimes as, oh, it's new beginnings and you gotta do this and do that. I don't find that with this card. I see so much more come through messages wise from that imagery. The Three of Cups. Again, with the Rider, I would sort of, it would be a generic message that would come from the card, but I find that there is so much more that comes, so much more comes through with a lot of the cards with the deck itself in terms of getting extra messages, I want to say. There's just, it just seems to me that there's so much more hidden meaning in each of the cards and each of their messages, and I pull away so much more than I ever did with the traditional riders. Two of Swords, and again, these are just cards that I feel drawn to, that I love, that actually come up in readings quite a lot. Their messages and meanings, it's never a question. I'm never faltered. They're just beautiful cards. The King of Swords, look at that. Just the energy of these cards. And again, like the sexuality represented is still so strong. I absolutely love them. I think she's done an amazing job. The Chariot, look at that. Just fierce and so good. The Four of Cups. Again, this is a card in the Rider-Waite where I was just like, I don't really like that card, it's not for me, but it just resonates so strongly, the messages here. Beautiful. The Strength card. Just a lovely card. There is so much strength, but I also get so much comfort in the imagery here. So much support I get as well. Beautiful. And the Queen of Wands. Of course, we end with the Queen of Wands. For me, this card represents my grandmother, and I just love this card every time it comes out. So I'll be doing a reading for somebody else, and these cards come out, and I'll be the messages will come through so clearly for who it is that I'm doing the reading for every single time. But I can always walk away taking something for myself as well, which may sound greedy, but it's just these cards. They just have such strong stories, strong messages to share, and I absolutely love them. I won't do a walkthrough of this, obviously, because I don't think I'm gonna. I had high hopes. What am I trying to say? I had high hopes of doing a lot more walkthroughs and reviews on the channel, as opposed to just the monthly guidance readings, because that's what I've been watching a lot of, and I'm really enjoying watching them. And I'm like, yeah, I'd like to talk about that too. If you're liking that I'm talking about it, let me know. But I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do a walkthrough, because I'm not someone that can wait. As soon as something arrives, it is out of that box. I am hugging these cards. I just can't wait. But I'm so glad that I was able to get this deck. It's absolutely beautiful. If you can get your hands on it, if you feel like you've connected in any way, you will not be disappointed. I love it. All right, that's it. I think that's it. I said all I wanted to say. I said all I needed to say. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked the video. Do let me know, subscribe, hit the notification bell to keep up to date with what's coming in. I am planning on doing more of these type of videos in the future, and